Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Average Joe Hockey Report. In this video, we're going to talk about the four game ones and what I have to say about those four games that occurred and my prediction for those four series. Let's start off with the Bruins with the Hurricanes, and as we all know, the Hurricanes won their game 5-1. Um, In the press conference, Linus Ullmark wasn't necessarily happy with his game, and I'm honestly not necessarily surprised considering this was his first playoff game, and um, uh, that and it could definitely be a possibility that if he continues this, we could see Jeremy Swayman in net for the Bruins. Um, and yeah, what I think the Hurricanes will continue their solid play, and I say this goes into 6 games with the Hurricanes taking it. Now the Leafs versus the Lightning. I I'd say look out for the Lightning in Game 2 for 2 reasons. Three reasons. One, the hit that Cal Clifford put on Ross Colton. I think the Lightning are going to be very angry about that hit, and that's going to motivate them, and maybe that could put them back in this series for one. Two, Andre Vasilevsky, after a playoff loss, has a save percentage of .966 and it has a 14-0 win record after a loss with 5 shutouts. And three, I mean nobody likes to be embarrassed 5-0. So of course I think I think this is where Tampa Bay, maybe they weren't expecting. I don't know. They didn't seem ready, basically. They were outshot, out outclassed and whatnot. But game two, look out for them. I could see the Lightning being the hungrier team, the angrier team, and getting back in the series. And my prediction is the Lightning carry that momentum after game two when I think they win, and they take the series 4-2. Blues versus the Wild. Now, goaltending, I'm not surprised was going to be the question in that series. I mean, on the Blues side, they went with Ville Husso, but if Husso struggles, Jordan Binnington has that Stanley Cup championship in 2019 and the playoff experience. So should Husso struggle, they could go with Binnington. Whereas the Wild, same thing. Marc-Andre Fleury allowing 4 goals. If he continues this, the Wild could go to Cam Talbot. What doesn't surprise me, however, what doesn't, sorry, yeah, new goal. Sorry, I should say that new goaltending was gonna be a question, whatever. And also, 2 of the Blues goals were on the power play. If you're the Minnesota Wild, you either need to stay out of the box or you need better penalty killing because it is imperative for one to score the first goal, one, and obviously not give up the first goal, especially if it's on the power play. So Wild definitely need to tighten up things on their defensive end and on their special teams, or at least the penalty kill, should I say? And so my prediction there, however, is I could see this going in 7 games, but considering considering the Wild lack of discipline or lack of penalty kill there, I think the Blues take this one just because the Wild are gonna have to. I feel like they're gonna have to, really rely on 5-on-5 hockey and be disciplined or whatever. And I don't know, you might not be able to count on that. I'm not sure. Now the Kings versus the Oilers. This was pretty much the only good matchup. The only, obviously, the only blunder there was the Mike Smith giveaway that led to the goal and led to the Kings winning it 4-3 without Drew Doughty for that matter too. Now, I don't know. I just feel like if Smith, puts it up the boards, puts it on the boards and not up the middle, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the game goes into overtime. But the fact that Mike Smith allowed 4 goals also doesn't necessarily surprise me. Mike Smith, not hasn't necessarily been a playoff performer since 2012, for one. And again, this channel, all my fans and whatnot know that I'm not the biggest Mike Smith fan. I feel it. I'll give him this. He's been resilient. He's still playing. He still has a starting goaltender job at the age of 40. But I, but again, it's like I've said before with him. He's too all over the place, and he's not really in control of his game. However, it's tough to say who I think will win the series because it's like on one hand, it's like it's the Oilers. I mean, I feel like they're mostly like most of their talents on forward and the depth on defense and goaltending is not necessarily the greatest. But you got the Kings, who I would say they're not necessarily all there yet. And with Drew Doughty injured, I almost feel like it's up to like the centers to shut down McDavid, like the centers in Anze Kopitar or Phil Danault. But if I were to make a prediction, maybe this goes to 7, and I'll say maybe the Kings, just because I think I like their goaltending better. But I don't know, it's tough to say. This video is mostly based on opinion and may not have any valid income as to how the series will plan out. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me, because this is, after all, the Average Joe Hockey Report, hockey opinions based on the perspective of an average Joe. Take care, everyone, and follow my new Instagram channel, The Average Joe Hockey Report, and my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.